welcome to the Good Morning Show. Eddie Francis in for Will Sutton, and sitting next to me this morning, I'm always honored, always, always, to be in the presence of one Roe Brown. How are you, sir?
Well, thank you, Eddie. That's nice of you. But people, let me tell you, it's once again, just as usual, they saw me on the overpass over there on Norman C. Francis Parkway. Saw me walking on the overpass, and they asked me to come in. Gave me food and shelter. And
I mean, it didn't look like anything better to me. I mean, got to get somebody to, on this in this wild and wacky, crazy morning show.
Food and shelter, Eddie, and Jared were nice enough to do that. So, here I am.
Well, man. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it just looked like you needed something to do, and we needed somebody to hang out with us this morning. We're kind of needy here, WBOK. We're emotionally needy.
Well, I'm glad that y'all are,
yeah,
are so giving.
Yeah, I mean, you're the only stable presence in here right now.
I don't know about that. Ooh,
yeah,
that might be a problem. Ooh.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just saying.
How you been, Edward?
I've been great, Romelis. How have you been?
Hanging on.
All right.
Fun old person.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So what you been watching lately?
Too much basketball.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
And but that's not all I watch now. But too much basketball. But good basketball nonetheless.
Yeah. All right. How are you feeling about the way things
I don't really have a favorite team. I have, teams that I think are really good, and, all these teams are left are really good now. I kind of conditioned myself a long time ago, from my days as a child, when Mickey Mantle broke his foot, I couldn't go to school because I couldn't walk and all that kind of stuff, those days, crying because some team lost or whatever, that's, haven't done that since I was a child. So I just enjoy it all, and,
so
a lot of times there's political stuff to it and social stuff, like anything else. But,
so that does beg the question, though. When you were a kid, was there that heartbreaking loss that stuck with you for a while?
How heartbreaking?
Or was there one?
I'll tell you how heartbreaking.
Yeah.
October 13th, 1960.
Okay. All right.
World Series, Pirates beat the Yankees. Bottom of the ninth, walk-off home run by Bill Mazeroski. First time in World Series history there was a walk-off home run.
Okay.
You got to understand there's no primetime baseball or sports at all. So the World Series happened in the middle of the week during the day.
Oh.
My parents actually let me stay home from school to see the World Series.
Really? Oh, man, that's really cool.
And I was in fourth grade then, and my teacher knew why I wasn't there. Didn't say a word.
Yeah.
Yep, fourth grade. Yeah, Miss Courtney.
Get out of here.
Anyway, she knew why. The next day she just asked me, how would you like the game? I said,
It's all right.
Yeah, I actually cried.
Oh man. So the heartbreaking sports loss for me. Actually, I was in my 20s when this happened.
Ooh.
I was in my 20s. I didn't cry, but it was heartbreaking when the Steelers lost the Super Bowl to the Cowboys. I was not happy. I was not happy at all when that happened because I was a big I still am a pretty big Steelers fan. Still can't stand the Cowboys.
You were in your 20s?
Yeah, because I think it was like 97.
Okay.
I think it was 97,
okay.
Not 95. It was 97, 98, something like that, if I remember correctly. But it was late 90s. It was mid-late 90s. And I was crushed. Especially since that was the game when Rod Woodson had come back. And I was a huge Rod Woodson fan.
Yeah, that would have been during the three-peat, the three that the Cowboys.
Yes.
Yeah, the mid-90s. Yeah.
So Rod Woodson comes back, gets a really good play, really, really good play on Michael Irvin. And I was like, oh, yeah, we're good. We're good. It's gonna be it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. I don't know if we have the right quarterback, but okay. And so
is it Neil O'Donnell?
It was Neil O'Donnell.
Okay,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Cowboys did the Cowboys thing, the '90s Cowboys
Yeah.
thing.
Emmett Smith, Troy Aikman.
Yeah. So I wasn't happy about
So
that.
you
Wasn't happy about that at all. So we actually have some interesting things to talk about this morning, man. So 7:20 a.m. David Jackson of NOLA Loves Cuba is going to join us. He's going to talk about what's happening with and why they are sending food supplies and what they're doing to um, keep that connection going. Also, constitutional amendments that are proposed. There's some good information from the Power Coalition. Reverend Calhoun sent up some information. Oh, he's on the line, and so
told you it would be.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That is great. I'm glad Rev is calling. And Rev, we're gonna get to you in just a minute. And then we're also, there are these news stories out there right now, Ro, about legal action against social media companies, and these are big cases. So my question is, are the social media companies finally being put in check? But here's what I really want to hear from the listeners about. I'm going to talk about this a little later in the show. Cory Booker says he's not ruling out a presidential run. What say you, WBOK Good Morning Show listeners? How do you feel about it? 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. But in the meantime, we got to get Reverend Calhoun on the line. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. I trust all is well this morning.
All is well.
Hey, Rev, how you doing?
I'm good, Dr.
We got
Rob.
your information last night.
I'm still waiting for you to sign my petition, okay?
What's your petition?
To change the colors at Southern University.
To what?
Green and orange.
I knew that's what was coming. I just wanted to hear him say it. Okay.
Okay. All right.
You know the FAMU people, not gonna like that, right? You do know.
Well, who care about FAMU?
I was actually about to ask you if you were a rattler, Rev, with that one. I was wondering where that was going.
Well, okay, no longer would the Southern people be able to tease them and call them peas and carrots.
Yeah, well,
which is what they call them sometimes. Yeah, peas and carrots.
Oh, goodness. That's hilarious.
But on last Friday, we had a conversation about fighting.
Yes.
And tomorrow morning, I know you're aware of the Senate Bill 217 that's going to be in committee tomorrow morning. Step Up Louisiana is providing a bus for us to go up to that committee meeting. The bus is going to be leaving from Vote at 4930 Washington Avenue for 7 o'clock, and it's coming back at 12 o'clock. But I think, Eddie, you was discussing how imperative this thing is. This wants to reduce our judicial system, to reduce judges, juvenile judges, for instance, from 23 to 10. If our system is already backed up, it's already clogged up, if you remove 10 judges, how does that help our juveniles to a speedy trial?
Yeah.
Something is not right here. So, but that's not only juvenile. The appellate courts, civil district court, all of these courts are under attack right now. There's one gentleman from West Monroe. He has authored a constitutional amendment to put the power of the governor and the legislator to remove and install judges. You gotta understand where this is actually going.
Yeah.
So if we can announce it just so people can understand about that bus is going to leave tomorrow. The bus can seat 100 people. If we can get the bus filled tomorrow, it would be. Excuse me.
Yeah. So
but if we can get that bus filled tomorrow, I think no less than send some type of message that the people of New Orleans are not just going to sit around and allow them to do what they want to do in our judicial system.
And that West Monroe legislator is named Jay Morris, for people who are wondering what Reverend Calhoun or who Reverend Calhoun is talking about. And
but the House Bill 217, which is going to be in committee tomorrow, this guy, I think he's playing cuckoo personally. But I'm understanding he's trying to make a run for Congress, so he's going to go along and try to let Mr. Trump get notice of him.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Rev, we're going to make sure that we repeat that information throughout the show.
I appreciate it.
Most definitely. We appreciate you being vigilant about it and calling and letting us know that we need folks to take some action. So thank you so much.
Well, the conversation last Friday about are we teaching our children how to fight? This is one way we fight.
Yeah.
We get on the bus, we go up there, and we express our displeasure of these bills.
So it's bus ride to Baton Rouge tomorrow morning, Tuesday, 7 a.m., leaving from 4930 Washington Avenue.
Yes,
the
sir.
offices of Vote. And it's going up there to make your feelings known about the state kind of taking over the whole judicial system in Orleans Parish, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Basically, that's what they're talking about.
Yep. So, Rev, we got to go to this break, but thank you again. We're going to repeat that information, and you have a great one, all right?
So, Ro, you wasn't heartbreaking when you had to leave Carver to go? All right, I'll talk to you later.
All I felt was that I had to leave Miss Bush. All right, Rev.
As we enjoy the jokes between Rev and Ro, we're going to go to a break right now. I'm Eddie Francis, in for Will Sutton on the Good Morning Show. Ro Brown is hanging out as well on WBOK. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Good Monday morning. I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. Right now, thousands of TSA agents are waiting for a paycheck to hit their bank accounts. This comes after President Trump signed an executive order ensuring agents will get paid despite the ongoing government shutdown. Travelers are still expected to deal with long lines at the airport, even if agents begin receiving pay. If you're heading to MSY today, be sure to get there at least 3 hours early to avoid any issues. Today marks day 45 of the record-setting partial government shutdown, as negotiations to reopen the Department of Homeland Security were dealt a major setback on Friday. House Republicans rejected a Senate-passed bill and voted instead for short-term funding that will hit a dead end in the Senate. The Senate's top Republican told members he's working with Democrats to search for a solution, according to a source familiar with the negotiations. And a heads up for those of you who take the Algiers ferry, service is temporarily paused. RTA says the Algiers Point Canal Street ferry is suspended as demolition begins on the terminal. Work is expected to continue through Friday evening, weather permitting. Now, in the meantime, riders can use the 103 General Meyer bus, which runs about every 40 minutes between the West Bank and downtown. I'm Daryl Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK. Have a great day.
Hey, this is Steve Poston. Be sure to listen to WBOK 1230 a.m. every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and Sunday evening at 5 p.m., bringing you the best Southern Soul barroom music with the Southern Soul Weekend Party Mix, hosted by me, of course. I'll be playing your favorite Southern Soul music by artists from all over the South, right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. or online at WBOK1230.com. The station you listen to longer. Listen to longer. Listen too long.
Good morning, wake up.
The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
back to the Good Morning Show. Eddie Francis in for Will Sutton, and Ro Brown is hanging out with us.
Good morning.
Josh, I do see you on the line. I know what you're calling about. So I might as well do the story right now.
What's he calling about?
Yeah, you threw it off, Josh. But that's okay. That's what you do. So yeah, I did catch a story on NBCNews.com by Alexandra Marquez that Cory Booker said that he is not ruling out the prospect of running for president in 2028, but that he is focused on running for re-election to the Senate this year. Okay. So which is it, Senator Booker?
Well, now, come on now. He said he's not ruling out.
I know he said he's not ruling it out, but that's kind of so he's been in the Senate since 2013. He did make his run for president at one point. That was during the 2020 election cycle, as we remember. Mm-hmm. So he has been fueling rumors, according to NBCNews.com, that he could run again. Now, he's raised $10 million for his campaign account and an affiliated joint fundraising committee with a major bump after he delivered a record-breaking speech for 25 hours and 5 minutes on the Senate floor. We remember that. And then last week, Booker released a new book called Stand. Mm-hmm. He's promoting with a tour right now, and people are thinking he wrote this book.
That's what they usually do.
And so that might mean that he's going to make a run for president in 2028. Mm-hmm. So but you know, ever since his last run, he's been doing this. He's been kind of saying, yeah, I might. I'm not ruling it out. Maybe. And so he's been back and forth. And
testing the waters, I guess. You know.
And I think that's what this is. I mean, he's this is his data collection, right? To see what kind of response he's going to get. And that's what politicians do. They'll throw things out there to see what people are going to say. So the question for me that's on the table is, how confident does this make you? If you're on the Democratic side of the House, are you saying to yourself, yay, Cory Booker? Mm-hmm. Or are you saying to yourself, no, not Cory Booker? So Joshua is on the line this morning. Can't wait to hear this. What you got, Josh?
Well, come on. How you guys doing?
Hello,
good,
Josh.
Man.
How are you?
I'm good, man. Hey, yeah. Cory Booker, he don't got it like that. He's too emotional.
He's too emotional.
Why
is that a problem?
Yeah, he's too emotional.
Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, and where he's at now, that's good for it. But the president, nobody want to see the president about to break out into tears.
You never know.
On every speech.
You never know.
No. I don't think he has it like that. I don't think he has it like that. Well, I was calling for since you got Ro Brown. Man, Ro Brown, that Final Four, that was that was sweet yesterday.
That was a good game. Yeah, you know, I assume you're talking about the Duke UConn game. Yeah.
Did Duke lose it or did UConn win it?
I think more Duke lost it. You know, I think, you know, all you had to do was dribble the ball for 10 seconds.
Oh, wow.
True that.
I mean, basically, when you think about it, I mean, you know, there was no reason.
For 10 seconds, you could have held it.
There was no reason for you to throw a cross-court pass up the court.
Panic.
Yeah. You know, all you had to do was just dribble straight. There was no one in front of you. Just dribble. And the game's over. So in that regard, you know, I think Duke lost it. I mean, it was a really good game. I mean, I thought UConn would win because although I think Duke is still very good, I didn't think they had enough people. And I got to admit, I didn't think that Duke would beat St. John's for that reason. That I thought St. John's would wear them down, and it turned out the other way. So, you know, but
I think Duke messed up by settling for jump shots.
Yeah, you know,
should have kept it bringing it inside.
Yeah,
and forcing UConn to foul you or give you that layup.
Yeah, but getting back to Cory Booker, I mean, interesting that you said that he's too emotional because this has always been my opinion of things. One of the strengths of Barack Obama and what drove, well, quite frankly, what drove white people crazy about Barack Obama was that he never seemed to get mad.
Never get rattled.
He never he never wanted to, you know, he never seemed like they tried to get him to break and call him all kind of names and he never did that. And
never got
it freaked him out. Okay, you know, that's why some of them think that he's some sort of antichrist because they never thought he broke. Okay, you know, that's how I've always looked at it. Okay,
Barack Obama is a great poker player.
Well,
and poker against Barack.
And this is what I say about Barack Obama that gets him in trouble. I just think Barack Obama is an extraordinary human being.
Yeah.
For a black male to be elected president of the United States twice, when most all of us in our lifetime never thought anything like that would happen, or in the next lifetime that anything like that would happen. For him to be elected twice, there must be something extraordinary about that human being. And I've always said, and this is what gets people mad, Barack Obama is so smart that he has no problem making people think that he thinks his wife is smarter than him. And I love Michelle Obama, and she is, you know, all that. Okay, but he's so smart that he makes the rest of us think that he thinks she's smarter than him.
I don't think he. It's not a guess on him. I really believe he believes. I believe she's smarter than him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah. That's what I mean. You see, he's got you too. Okay. That's exactly what I mean.
He got me too. Then I believe it.
Yeah.
Well, but you know, here's
and that's not a knock on Michelle.
No, not at all. And I think that's the fascinating thing about them as a couple. Because I mean, they are both highly intelligent in their own right and in their own way. That's the thing.
They're humble.
And they're humble, and that honestly makes them a pretty formidable couple.
Usually, folks who are smart, they're arrogant. You know, they don't have they don't have relatability because they're so smart. But they're able to relate to the common person.
They really can. Yeah.
You know,
and they both. And what made Barack Obama better than Cory? You see Barack Obama. You see leader. I don't see leader in Cory Booker.
Okay.
I see passion.
Well, I mean, he is a senator now, so you got to give him something.
He was mayor of Newark, okay?
Right. give the man some credit. Golly, he's a senator.
I'm just saying, no one actually knows where Newark is at.
Oh, come on.
Stop it now. Stop it.
Come on, Josh.
Don't be like
New York
that.
City, man.
Oh, come on now. Why you got to be like that?
It's the backdrop, bro. I know you like Cory, man, but Cory he doesn't have that leadership mentality that Barack Obama. Like Barack Obama comes in, it's almost like he commands a room. I don't think Cory has that ability to do that.
I honestly, so you know what, Josh? I would agree with you on that because I do think what Cory Booker is missing is presidential gravitas. And I agree with you. I honestly don't see that in him. I do think he's a great leader.
He's a great guy. I don't know about leader. I say great guy.
He's a
great
senator.
guy. He's passionate.
Joshua, somebody has voted for this man since 2013, and he's a U.S. senator. He's got to have something going on.
Yeah, he's passionate. Everyone loves the season one passion.
Well, the other thing the other thing is that he's squeaky clean too.
True that.
Don't
get in trouble.
At the end of the day, that's kind of what we want. We
America.
We like that.
Apparently, America doesn't. We may want their Eddie, but America doesn't want that at all.
Well, you need to be squeaky clean if you are a black politician.
No, can't be. If you're black.
You know what I'm saying? You need to be. Yeah. But anyway, you know, and the other thing about Barack Obama is that, you know, the reason why he won the Nobel Peace Prize wasn't because he stopped a war. It's because of the way he made all these people feel all over the world.
All over the world.
Yeah.
Okay. No, really. I mean, that's why I believe he won it. Okay. You know, because there was only, you know, when Barack Obama was elected, there was only one country, or maybe two, that had a problem with that. Russia and the United States.
Yeah.
The rest of the world, I mean, I remember seeing PSAs from other places with people from countries all over the world, little kids saying, "I am Barack Obama."
I remember.
That. I am Barack Obama. I mean, there were people who were patting America on the back because they elected him, even though almost half the country was mad that he was elected.
So you know what? We have to go to break right now. And Josh, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you as always.
Before I leave, though, he made like if the United States was on the dating site, everyone swiped right on the United States when Barack Obama was president. Everyone swiped right.
Yeah.
Except
Putin. And the people here and certain people here in the United States. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, man.
That's jealousy music. Okay. All right, you guys have a good day.
All right, man. Thanks a lot for the metaphor. That was I've never used that dating site, but anyway. But you know what? There's an interesting conversation to be had about culture setting that I wanna float into with you, Ro, when we come back, because it's interesting the culture that was set in the U.S. under Barack Obama and the culture that was set in 2016 and again in 2024.
Yes.
I'm Eddie Francis in for Will Sutton on the Good Morning Show on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
This week will be breezy and warm with daily rain chances. Today's highs 79 to 81 degrees. Scattered showers likely by late morning into the afternoon, ending by evening. This happens each day. And then lows for tonight 64 to 68. For tomorrow, highs 81 to 82. We'll see increasing rain chances by Easter. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
Attention, WBOK listeners. Are you a fan of the station and want to show your support in style? Well, we've got some exciting news for you. Introducing the official WBOK merchandise, the perfect way to wear your love for the station. Whether you're a longtime listener or a new fan, we've got something for everyone. Head to WBOK1230.com now and grab your WBOK gear before it's gone. When you buy WBOK merch, you're not just getting quality items, you're supporting the station you love.
LifeCare provides valuable whole life insurance to cover final expenses such as medical bills, burial costs, and unpaid debt. A final expense insurance policy is fast, easy, affordable life insurance that's available to anyone between the ages of 50 and 80. No medical exams, no lengthy questionnaires, and no waiting period. The application process is quick and easy. You can even apply without having to undergo a medical examination. Just answer a few questions and we'll do the rest. With the average funeral cost skyrocketing to $11,000 and Social Security only paying $255, you need simple, affordable peace of mind for you and your whole family. Don't leave behind unpaid expenses that, if left unattended, will burden your family tremendously. Benefits include a guaranteed premium that will never increase, a guaranteed cash value, and a guaranteed death benefit that can never decrease. To find out how you can get final expense insurance with a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, call LifeCare at 800-571-9955. That's 800-571-9955. 800-571-9955.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
And good morning. Welcome back to the Good Morning Show. Eddie Francis in for Will Sutton. Ro Brown hanging out with us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for having me, Edward.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for coming on in. So we have some opinions on Facebook about Cory Booker saying that he has not ruled out a run for president. We just heard Joshua's opinion. Good morning, Josh. Again, Fern Ware. Good morning to you, Karen Marks. Linda Lewis, good morning to you.
Hey, Linda
Karen
Lewis.
said it's a no from me. Karen also believes that I'm assuming she says she's smarter. So I'm assuming that she means that Michelle Obama's smarter than Barack Obama. Karen, don't be like that. Don't be like that now. Because, and the reason I say that is I think one of the I think one of the mistakes that we make with couples like the Obamas is that we have the who's better contest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's more accomplished contest.
Yeah.
People
and I
do
don't
this.
have that. I mean,
and people do this also with Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Okay.
People do it with them. So let's Karen, I love you. I love you. Jacqueline Wilmore, thank you for joining in. Appreciate it. Alicia Plummer, as always, thank you so much. Alicia, she made a really good point. Not too many have the oomph to command a room. And when they walk in, like Obama and Clinton, she says.
Oh yeah.
And I would say both of the Clintons. I would say both of them.
Yeah, I would say that to a lesser degree. About Hillary. It's just that for some reason, some people just don't like Hillary.
Yeah, yeah.
There are people who like her husband don't like her.
This is true.
I'm not sure. I've never been able to figure out what the problem was there. But there's some people just don't like her. I mean,
yeah, it's really
that's
interesting.
why Donald Trump won. I mean, there were enough people who just don't like her.
That was true.
I don't know why.
That's true. And so I think when we talk about commanding a room, I want to take a look at, because there was a really good point that you brought up that Barack Obama made a lot of people feel good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, goodness, I remember the night he was elected.
Yeah.
The tears.
Yeah.
I mean, I cried.
And I'm not talking about just black people.
No. No, not at all.
I mean,
Not
there were
at
some
all.
people who may not have voted for him, but thought that it made them feel good because we elected a black president. So that means that
at the end of his
race
second,
is no longer a problem. There's some people like
I remember watching a video, Ro, at the end of his second term. The 2016 election is coming up, and there was a white Republican who did a video. And he said, I did not vote for Barack Obama, but I am so glad he was the president. Because looking at what's coming, I can't believe it. And he was reading the tea leaves because Trump had been nominated.
Yeah. He saw the backlash coming.
He saw it coming. Yeah. And he said, he said, I'm a Republican, but Obama was a great president.
Yeah.
And he said, I didn't want to admit it, but he made me feel good.
Yeah.
And so that was a universal feeling. And one of the things that I tell people all the time is, people quip, when you're at work and people who are not as privileged to be in the upper echelon of the company or the organization. Mm-hmm. Whenever we get the dirty work, somebody says, well, the stuff rolls downhill, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
My response is always, that means somebody at the top was causing stuff.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That means somebody at the top set a culture where a lot of stuff had to roll downhill.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot of people say, actually, I'm going to say this, I had a conversation with my therapist, and they said that after the Trump election, their schedule just went bananas, filled to the brim. And so when you take a look at culture setting, Obama set a really great culture in this country.
Yeah.
He set a positive culture.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he set a culture of control.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean under control.
Yeah. Because
and when I say under control, I don't mean somebody with their thumb on you.
Right.
Or your foot on the neck kind of control. Just,
Yeah.
It was just, as opposed to what we have now, quite frankly.
And that speaks to self-awareness because one of Obama's biggest strengths is his self-control.
Yeah.
That is a huge strength of his.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, we have chaos. We have chaos. And I've researched leaders like Trump for my master's degree.
Okay.
And there's this thing, Halima, my wife, and I, we talk about this all the time. People like Trump, we say that they have what's called a chaos clock. Every so often, when things get too calm, they get nervous and they got to cause chaos. Now, the thing is that it's pretty consistent with him. He likes to cause chaos ongoing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
he loves
you
chaos.
research leaders like him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when did you start researching leaders like him? I mean, when did you start this? You know, I mean,
informally when I started working for people.
Okay, like that. I got you.
Which was well over 30 years ago. But formally, you know, I actually entered my master's program for Tennessee State in 2017.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That I was asking because of you know the Trump timeline. That's why I asked that question.
Yeah, and it was really interesting. I mean, the research was narcissistic leaders and the effect that they have on followers. And I'll never forget that one of my professors looked at my research, and she said, "Well, you might not want to bring up Trump because that's political." I said, "No, it's not his behavior.
Yeah,
there's nothing to do with politics. I'm not talking policy or anything like that. I'm talking behavior."
Yeah,
and so that was something. But I mean, it was eye-opening to really get this idea of how a certain personality can set a certain culture.
Yeah.
Even with as many people around them as you can get. You know, it's just, that's the thing that's fascinating to me.
Right. 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422.
And before we get to the calls, we actually do have, let's see. So we can. I'm actually reading the text from Jared, the producer, as I mutter on the microphone. Here, but we do have our guest. We have David Jackson, who's in the house, and so we're gonna get him on. So we're gonna go to a break right now, Jared. Okay, yeah. The producer says we're gonna go to a break, so dang it, we're gonna go to a break. So we're gonna do that right now. David Jackson from NOLA Loves Cuba is gonna come on in just a bit, and we're gonna jump back into the conversation a little later on. But in the meantime, I'm Eddie Francis in for Will Sutton, and Ro Brown is joining us on the Good Morning Show on WBOK. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. Conflict in the Middle East, mixed feelings about artificial intelligence, and more are causing turbulence in markets. But when things are volatile, John Rogers sees opportunity. Rogers is founder, chairman, and co-CEO of Ariel Investments, one of the largest and longest-running black-owned investment firms in the country. Speaking recently at Bloomberg Invest, Rogers says that above all, his firm focuses on being patient and having a long-term view.
You have to wait until you can buy a great business at a bargain price. And then you have to be patient, as often a company maybe is going through a temporary crisis. You have to be able to look out again over the horizon and see what that company will look like when the sun comes out again and the storms drift away.
Ariel focuses on businesses that it feels will perform well in the long haul, even if it hits some bumps in the road along the way. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Pros, just because something on the job runs out doesn't mean you have to. Order it on the Lowe's app. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get free same-day delivery on eligible orders over $25. Get the fasteners, hardware, or tools you need to keep the job moving. Order by 2 p.m. and get eligible in-stock items delivered right to your job site by 8 p.m. Members get more at Lowe's. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Subject to availability. Restrictions and terms at lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, "Oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say."
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Back to the Good Morning Show. Eddie Francis in for Will Sutton. Ro Brown is hanging out.
Good morning.
And we have a guest this morning, David Jackson from NOLA Loves Cuba. And you know, I'm gonna let David surprise everybody with the information. But David, good morning. Welcome to the show, man.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
All right. So you're from Cuba, right?
Everyone says that they see the beard, and I barely make it through immigration every time. I'm from the Ninth Ward, not from Cuba.
So NOLA Loves Cuba is NOLA Loves Cuba is a nonprofit, correct?
Correct.
So why did you start it?
So I went on with a group trip with my friend Elizabeth Pedroso, who's from Cuba. We worked together at the city. And when I got there, I just noticed how similar Cuba was to New Orleans, Havana, especially to New Orleans. How they have a rumba beat, we have second line beat, and when the rumba starts, like everyone stops what they're doing, parade down the street, so much like our second line. And then the spirit of the people, and then just the amount of poverty that we saw there. The average Cuban salary, professional salary, doctor, lawyer, $24 a month is your salary in Cuba. Blue collar salary, $18 a month. And the things that we take for granted that we just throw away is life-saving out there.
Interesting. And you know, when we, you know, I've seen pictures from Cuba, and there's been like a row of doors and buildings, and it looks almost exactly like the French Quarter. The Marigny, maybe more like the Marigny.
Yeah.
Yes, parts of the French Quarter, Marigny, parts of Treme, so similar to New Orleans. If you don't hear Spanish in the background, you would swear you're in New Orleans when you're in Havana.
So the nonprofit right now is doing what it can to assist and aid to Cuba. What is going on in Cuba that has you jumping into action right now?
So right now, I would say the conditions in Cuba are about as bad as it has been since 1886, and that was the end of slavery in Cuba. It is as bad now as it has ever been at this particular time. There's limited running water. There's no electricity. You have food rations. Right now in Cuba, parents are giving their kids their food ration and drinking sugar water at night to survive. No baby formula. If you look at the oil embargo that's going on right now, everything in our world needs oil and gas to move forward, right? You take for granted the things like trash pickup. It takes gasoline to move trash trucks, right, to pick it up. So right now, garbage is being stacked 6 feet high up against buildings all over Cuba right now. That brings disease. They've been hit with dengue fever and chikungunya fever also. A power plant needs gasoline to move forward as well. So it is as dire now as it has ever been in Cuba.
With what is going on now as far as how the United States is relating to Cuba at this particular time, will it be more difficult for you to get food or water or anything to that island?
We've been blessed because we've had a good relationship with the government here and the government there. We don't take any political affiliations, and we're just there to help people. So we have a humanitarian visa that allows us to travel into the country. And with that, as I always say, when people try to get political with it, a 2-year-old who's starving doesn't have a political affiliation. So we see the people that are in need, and we've been blessed to have a good relationship with both governments to go in and bring food in.
Has that changed since this presidency of 2014? 2024?
It is a very acrimonious relationship right now. If you go to Cuba, and not to take political sides, if you go to Cuba, you will see 30 or 40-foot murals of President Obama. In Cuba, statues of President Obama. Yeah. They will ask you in a restaurant, because there are food shortages all over the island. They will ask you, did you vote for Trump or did you vote for Kamala?
Really?
And they will refuse service to you in some places if you say you voted for Trump.
Wow.
Now, obviously, I ate a full meal, so that tells you what happened there.
So, David, that's why I asked that question. I mean, how difficult is it? Because I'll be perfectly honest with you. I mean, you got an administration now who will use a starving 2-year-old, has no problem using a starving 2-year-old for political reasons. They don't have no problem doing that.
Yes, and it's sad, and I'm glad there are people like you and I who can look past that and say, regardless of what the political affiliation is or regardless of who's in office right now, we're going to do what we can to help. I mean, the situation now is with no electricity. Imagine all the chronic diseases that we have right now, but you can't fight it with electricity, where surgeries are being postponed right now. The NICU unit, doctors are taking 8-hour shifts using hand pumps to do ventilators because you don't have a ventilator. Your dialysis, any illness that you may have, diabetes, Crohn's, IBS. Yeah. Imagine that with no electricity, medical care, or water.
So what this makes me think of is, and I want to get to how people can help in just a little bit, but you Dave, you're from here. You know how we get.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
You know how we get.
Yes.
And I know at some point somebody has probably said to you, oh, man, that's nice, but look at the problems we have in here. How come you're not putting all that energy towards what's happening in New Orleans? Why should people? So let's look at this a different way. Why should we in New Orleans support what you're doing with Cuba?
There are first world problems and there are third world problems. And within a quick 1 hour and 15-minute flight to Cuba, you will see the difference between our problems and their problems. Our problems are minuscule in comparison. The ability to try to find something to eat on a daily basis. There's no food storage because there's no electricity. So this is literally our daily bread. Give us this day our daily bread. It's a literal search for daily bread each day. And again, our problems are small in comparison. We should always think of, as long as we think of people as ourselves and not as others, it will give you the compassion to act.
So the next time you don't get enough shrimp on your po' boy,
don't complain.
Put it in perspective. I mean, I'm joking, but I'm not
Exactly.
joking
Yes.
about
No,
that.
really.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Correct.
You're right. You're right. You know, I read last night, by the way, that they're letting one Russian tanker of oil into Cuba, kind of breaking the blockade, but just, whatever. Just, I just remember reading that last night.
Yes, I saw that 11 hours ago. They're allowing 100,000 tons of crude oil in, so that should jumpstart them just a little bit. They don't have nuclear power, so their entire electrical grid is running off of gasoline power. There was a Turkish company that was in for like 5 years, and they withdrew maybe a year ago. And Venezuela was their biggest trading partner. So once Maduro's was taken out, that ended the gas going from Venezuela to Cuba, because these are two socialist countries back and forth, and now they're just at everyone's mercy at this moment.
You know, what this makes me think about, because I remember, prior to the 2016 election, I was talking to, somebody I know who's actually a libertarian, and this guy was saying, this whole thing about globalization is all BS. We need to cut it out. And I said, well, nations need each other.
Yes.
What one nation doesn't have, they can go to another nation and get. And so the idea is for the globe to be in cooperation so we can all share resources or trade resources or whatever it is. And what you're talking about is really a very, very good example of why we should embrace, working with other nations. Yeah. It's a great example. So what can people do to help?
So right now we have a raffle. We're at NOLAlovesCuba.org, NOLAlovesCuba.org. We have a raffle, $10 per ticket, and you can win a cruise to Grand Cayman Island. That's our number one prize. Our number two is a weekend stay at the downtown Hyatt. Number three, dinner for two at Lula's, dinner for six at Carrabba's, and a Havana Gold rum basket is our smallest prize. So if you would like to take a cruise, leaving from New Orleans to Grand Cayman, and help the people of Cuba, please go to NOLAlovesCuba.org and purchase a ticket, and we will be packing a 13,000-pound shipping container filled with food, formula, sanitary napkins, diapers, headed to Cuba. And if your civic organization would like to help, you could put a food donation box at your school, church, or any civic organization to donate food directly to us.
All right, and that's NOLAlovesCuba.org.
You could ask if they wanted to donate food directly, take it to some place.
Yes, you could actually take it to one of our biggest partners, two of our biggest partners, Cornerstone United Methodist Church. They're in off Bullard in the east. Rock of Ages has been a great partner for us as well. So Cornerstone United Methodist Church, that's on Bullard Avenue. You can drop off food there.
Okay.
All right, man. All right. That's really good. And I mean, and thank you for putting in perspective that we have more than we think we have.
Absolutely.
And there are people who are truly suffering, truly suffering. And so if you want to help, you can go to NOLAlovesCuba.org, NOLAlovesCuba.org. There's a raffle where you can go ahead and try to win something, and at the same time, you can help these folks. And you can help David and the crew and everybody. There's merch that you can buy. Actually, a cool-looking T-shirt.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, if you're looking at us on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, you can see David with his shirt right now.
Yeah, put it out there, David.
That
I'm sorry. Hey,
there we go.
Right there.
There you go. David Jackson. From the Ninth Ward, not from Cuba.
Not from Havana.
That's correct. That's right.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Good Morning Show, man.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for your mission as well.
All right, you got it. All right, we're going to be back in just a couple of minutes. I'm Eddie Francis in for Will Sutton. Ro Brown is hanging out as well on the Good Morning Show on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. Conflict in the Middle East, mixed feelings about artificial intelligence, and more are causing turbulence in markets. But when things are volatile, John Rogers sees opportunity. Rogers is founder, chairman, and co-CEO of Ariel Investments, one of the largest and longest-running black-owned investment firms in the country. Speaking recently at Bloomberg Invest, Rogers says that above all, his firm focuses on being patient and having a long-term view.
You have to wait until you can buy a great business at a bargain price. And then you have to be patient, as sometimes often a company maybe is going through a temporary crisis. You have to be able to look out again over the horizon and see what that company will look like when the sun comes out again and the storms drift away.
Ariel focuses on businesses that it feels will perform well in the long haul, even if it hits some bumps in the road along the way. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Pros, just because something on the job runs out doesn't mean you have to. Order it on the Lowe's app. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get free same-day delivery on eligible orders over $25. Get the fasteners, hardware, or tools you need to keep the job moving. Order by 2 p.m. and get eligible in-stock items delivered right to your job site by 8 p.m. Members get more at Lowe's. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Subject to availability. Restrictions and terms at lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Welcome back to the Good Morning Show. Eddie Francis in for Will Sutton. Ro Brown hanging out. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Eddie. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you got it, man. So, Ro.
Yes.
I think Fast Company has a listening device around me somewhere, and I had no idea that this was going on. Because they did this article, and it says something that I've been saying for the past 3 years about leadership. And so fastcompany.com, if you go check them out, there's an article by Kim Salem Jackson that says leadership isn't always about having all the answers.
Okay.
I've been saying this for 3 years. I'm just shouting it from the mountaintops.
I've heard you say that before.
And when I saw this last night, I went, Finally. But where's the listening device? So she starts off by writing, I recently chatted with a few people who will be entering the workforce this year. They asked me thoughtful and ambitious questions. And somewhere in the middle of answering them, I realized something. There's a lesson I learned later in my career that I wish I had learned much earlier. Early on, I believe leadership meant having the answers. Growing up in tech, I felt constant pressure to have all the answers. I thought CMO, which is Chief Marketing Officer, meant being the final authority on strategy, on data, and on creative direction. I didn't know I thought I should. And then she writes that as the stakes got higher, the world got more complex, she realized something. Certainty is the enemy of growth. That's a pretty...
Certainty is the enemy of growth.
You can't be a know-it-all.
Yeah.
You can't. Once you get to a point where you think you are certain about everything, I think is what she means.
Right.
It's difficult to grow from there because you think you've grown.
No, yeah, you don't. Yeah,
you think you've grown.
There's nothing else for me to do. There's no other height for me to reach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she writes that the most valuable insights rarely come from the person with the highest title. They come from the people closest to the work and the customers. So this is actually part of my this is actually part of my research.
Right.
This is actually called followership and expertise authority is what she's talking about. And so what she goes on to write is that when it comes to practical shifts and using a position to encourage people to share insights, she writes, create a no judgment zone, speak last, ask lots of questions, and give permission to fail. The interesting thing about this is just as I was looking at this and I was about to talk about it, I'm looking for the comment on Facebook, and the Facebook, let's see, Karen Marks wrote this. One of Obama's strengths was that he surrounded himself with others who were equally as smart, the best in their respective fields. Eric Holder, Susan Wright, Hillary Clinton, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
When Dr. Norman C. Francis passed away, one of the comments that was made about him, and I had heard him say this himself, is that he credited his success with finding people who were smarter than him,
right?
And he let them do their jobs,
right?
And so I think what she wrote is, really profound. And yes, you're welcome, by the way, since you planted that listening device fast company. But I think it's really profound about being a leader doesn't mean you have to be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah. And yeah. I mean, I hate to keep saying this, but the president now thinks he's the smartest person in the world.
He wants to be.
No, he says that. Okay, yeah, he says it. He knows better, but he says that. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely wants to be. I think
wants to act like it.
I think our governor has the same problem.
Surround himself with people who will tell him that.
Yes, he definitely surrounds himself with people who will show deference to him.
Yeah.
He definitely that
and bear in mind, I'm not, because he is the president, I'm using him, but he's not the only person in the world who does that. But it's surround yourself with it.
He definitely is not. So I made light of this a few weeks ago when there were these weather alerts that we got, and it came from Governor Landry.
Yeah.
And I was like, when did you become a meteorologist?
Yeah.
We need I want the person in charge of Homeland Security and safety. I want that person. I want to talk to that person. I want to hear from that person. Not you.
Yeah.
Not you.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
It's so during the pandemic, when the President Trump, that is, spoke during the pandemic, you didn't feel comfortable when he said that, he heard that all you had to do was drink bleach?
Let's go to break.
Well, that's what he said at a press conference. I'm just a sports guy. I'm just asking a question, okay?
We had more news and views, and I want to get into the constitutional amendments when we come back.
I think that's a legitimate question.
I'm Eddie Francis, in for Will Sutton on the Good Morning Show.
Did I say something wrong?
On WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
WBOK New Orleans, home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Texas State University has fired a second professor over comments on the Israel-Palestine conflict. Black philosopher Idris Robinson is suing, saying his pro-Palestinian remarks were made off campus at a private event. Christian Collins with Texas Youth Summit says this professor has no shot at winning.
You have freedom of speech, but you are not free from the consequences of the things that you say.
Another professor was fired last fall for similar remarks. Maryland's Black Attorney General Anthony Brown is calling recent verdicts against Meta and YouTube a landmark step in protecting children. Brown says it's a long overdue reckoning as Maryland pursues similar litigation. And the 2026 American Black Film Festival will open with Malcolm D. Lee's new thriller Strung, starring Chloe Bailey. The festival marks its 30th year in Miami Beach from May 27th to the 31st. Strung will premiere on Peacock in June. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
And good morning. Welcome back to the Good Morning Show. Eddie Francis in for Will Sutton and Ro Brown hanging out this morning.
Hello.
Yeah, man. Glad we saw you walking past the station.
Well, I'm glad too. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, pull you into the pod.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate it.
Thank Jared. He's the one with the soft heart.
Oh, okay.
A man of few words. Oh, you gotta watch that, Jared.
Okay.
And again, we have three Loyolans.
Go Pack.
Go
Pack. You know, let's see. You know, you're wearing a Talladega sweatshirt.
I'm wearing my Talladega college.
I see a Tulane notebook over there, and a Tennessee State University drinking utensil,
So you know
and
what?
a New Orleans voodoo cap.
Yeah,
and I'm wearing
the Brown Belt. Is it in Brown University?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. All right, there
See
we go.
the brown bear right there?
Yeah. All right, I thought that was a dancing bear.
Brown bear. That's
Brown
exactly
bear.
what it looks like. Yeah, the brown bears. Yeah.
So you know what's funny? I actually thought about it. One day I was going through my closet.
I know what you're about to say.
Between me and my wife,
Mm-hmm.
I cannot
Me
tell
too.
you how many institutions of higher learning are represented in that closet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got
it's a smorgasbord.
I got Dillard, I got Xavier, I got Suno.
Yeah.
Of course, I got a lot of Loyola because they give me a lot. And, Brown University and Grambling.
What's the Brown connection?
A friend of mine, Calvin Quayles, who worked with me at the University of New Orleans, was sports information director, is now the sports information director or the head of that at Brown University.
Oh, very cool.
And so he just sent me caps and shirts and
I need friends
all
like
that good stuff. You know?
Yeah, I mean, because we got, so let me see, Halima she's a Hampton alumna, an NYU alumna.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Loyola alum, a Tennessee State alum. I've worked at Dillard, Talladega, Suno.
Right.
Who am I leaving out? Paul Quinn.
Oh, I know you worked with Paul Quinn. You worked at Paul Quinn?
Yeah, a year and a half. And they told me to get the heck out of there. And then, and I currently work for Southern New Hampshire University. Helene was worked for Tulane, Paul Quinn, CUNY, City University of New York, Barnard. She's worked for Barnard.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
so
what Eddie is telling you,
we got stuff all over
what Eddie is telling you is that, to a lesser degree, my wife Mary and I, we are, basically we are attired by institutions of higher learning. Because that same thing I thought about it one day, I looked in the closet and I had everything I had was some school or some team written on it,
Yeah. I'm just going to do a video where I just throw all this stuff down on the floor and take a picture of it. Well, that's when I get back on social media. I'm taking a break
or whatever, I did buy an extra T-shirt yesterday. I already had one from last year. The Danny Barker Guitar and Banjo Festival was this past weekend.
Yes.
And, I had a nice T-shirt last year. They had a nice picture of Danny and Lulu, his wife, on there. And this year I got another T-shirt with another good picture of Danny. So I'll be wearing that soon.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's see. There it is. There it is.
And I have a collection of Negro League jerseys. So.
Oh, man. Oh, no, that's dope. Mm-hmm. That is dope.
I don't wear those a lot, just kind of special occasions, but
I actually bought. So I was in Kansas City, went to the museum, and I bought a jersey that has all of the logos on
I have that on the back.
Yeah.
And I have a jacket like that too.
Oh,
it has logos on the sleeves.
Yeah.
And, my wife orders all this stuff. She likes all that stuff. I got a Homestead Graves jersey.
That's really cool.
Kansas City Monarchs jersey. And Pittsburgh Crawfords jersey.
But see, you get gifts.
And
I'm gonna have to get on my people.
Chicago American Giants jersey.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get on my people. I have a colleague, I have a friend who worked at University of Montana.
Okay.
I want my Go Grizz stuff.
Yeah, the Grizzlies, absolutely. Yeah, I'd wear that.
Give me my Go Grizz stuff.
Well, I had a good friend who gave me a Slippery Rock T-shirt.
Slippery Rock,
right?
Get out.
Yeah, because Katrina took it, but yeah.
Oh man, look at that. We're all educated and stuff, and have an appreciation for our education.
Well, I'm not that educated. I just get the shirts.
No. You got it, man. You use that big Loyola brain, man. So look, we want to remind people of what Reverend Calhoun called about earlier, and he called about a great opportunity tomorrow to go to Baton Rouge and to advocate. Senate Bill 217 has this committee meeting tomorrow, and so Reverend Calhoun wrote to us that there's an opportunity to go to Baton Rouge to speak against that bill if you are against it. And this is looked at as a takeover of the Orleans Parish court system. We have a bus leaving, he writes, and that's going to be tomorrow at 7 a.m. to go to Baton Rouge. The pickup is the vote office, 4930 Washington Avenue. Again, that address is 4930 Washington Avenue. 7 a.m. is the pickup time. Again, that address is 4930 Washington Avenue. The pickup is at 7 a.m. He said that the bus could fit 100 people, and that is the vote office, VOTE office, if you want to go to Baton Rouge and if you want to go to the committee meeting to make your voice heard. And so when we come back, I actually want to go over these constitutional amendments on the Power Coalition website, because we do have the election coming up on May 16th. Now, we know that that's the primaries for the Democratic and Republican candidates for the U.S. Senate and also representative seats. But there are also several constitutional amendments on the ballot. And so we're going to go over those in a few minutes. And again, I'll say that address again. Please pass it on to anyone who you know who wants to be involved. The address to meet tomorrow to go to Baton Rouge to get on the bus, and it fits 100 people, is 4930 Washington Avenue, the vote office, and they're going to meet at 7 a.m. And this is for the committee meeting for Senate Bill 217. All right, and that is a bill that relates to the Orleans Parish court system. And so when we come back, we're going to get into these amendments and see what's going on and see what you think of them. Also,
and remember, Eddie, Reverend Calhoun said that the bus leaves from 4930 Washington Avenue at 7 a.m. tomorrow. They will be back by noon. He said,
yes, back by noon. That is the important part.
He said they would be back by noon.
Yes, so that you can plan your day. They will be back by noon. And so most definitely get involved if you would like to get involved. And this is actually a really good way to get involved in the process. You know, I've had the opportunity, I'm going to say this really quickly before we go to break. I've had the opportunity to go to Baton Rouge and sit in committee meetings and just observe. I really suggest that everybody at some point do that. At some point, go to Baton Rouge, identify a bill that you're curious about, go sit in the Senate or go sit in the committee meetings, especially appropriations, because they determine how money is going to be divvied up and spent and all that other good stuff.
Right.
Appropriations is a very, very important committee to sit in on. But to follow the bills, they start at the committee level. And so take the opportunity to go. And even if you don't know which bill it is, just go sit in a committee meeting and get an idea of how our elected officials work with or against one another. Because, you know, some people who might be for a bill or against the bill, they're in a position of the enemy of my enemy being my friend. And so it's really important to get to see who the players are and what they think of one another and how they relate to one another and all that good stuff. But we're going to come back and talk about the amendments in just a little bit. I'm Eddie Francis in for Will Sutton on the Good Morning Show on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Good Monday morning. I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. Right now, thousands of TSA agents are waiting for a paycheck to hit their bank accounts. This comes after President Trump signed an executive order ensuring agents will get paid despite the ongoing government shutdown. Travelers are still expected to deal with long lines at the airport, even if agents begin receiving pay. If you're heading to MSY today, be sure to get there at least 3 hours early to avoid any issues. Today marks day 45 of the record-setting partial government shutdown, as negotiations to reopen the Department of Homeland Security were dealt a major setback on Friday. House Republicans rejected a Senate-passed bill and voted instead for short-term funding that will hit a dead end in the Senate. The Senate's top Republican told members he's working with Democrats to search for a solution, according to a source familiar with the negotiations. And a heads up for those of you who take the Algiers ferry, service is temporarily paused. RTA says the Algiers Point Canal Street ferry is suspended as demolition begins on the terminal. Work is expected to continue through Friday evening, weather permitting. Now, in the meantime, riders can use the 103 General Meyer bus, which runs about every 40 minutes between the West Bank and downtown. I'm Daryl Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK. Have a great day.
Trying to grow your business or increase traffic to your location? We can help. WBOK 1230 AM has a number of solutions that will meet your individual needs. Give one of our consultants a call today at 504-582-9420 or email us at info@WBOK1230.com. And remember, an investment with WBOK is an investment in our community. Call today.
Good morning. Wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
For Will Sutton and hanging out with us, the man himself, Ro Brown.
Hello, hello, hello.
Everyone bow your heads. Thank you, Ro. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Thank you for having me.
So Reverend Calhoun called earlier in the show, and he talked about some of the Senate bills and House bills that are up for grab, and there's several relating to the Orleans Parish courts. Now, one of them is Senate Bill 197. And I know I mentioned constitutional amendments. I'll get to that in a little bit, but I wanted to make sure that we did get to the Senate bills. And the one that is 197, that is introduced by Jay Morris of West Monroe. And that one reduces a number of judges on the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeal. And so that one, let's see. That one is scheduled. Okay, that's the one that is scheduled for tomorrow. And then he also mentioned, Reverend Calhoun did, Senate Bill 217 by Jay Morris, provides for administration of courts in Orleans Parish and a number of judges, is what it says. So that one is scheduled tomorrow as well. And let's see, there's also House Bill 911. That one has moved from the committee to the House floor for debate. That one provides, and that was filed by Dixon McMakin, provides for the complete reform, modernization of the judicial components of Orleans Parish. And, excuse me, and that one is specific to Orleans Parish. Mm-hmm. That one, again, is pending House floor action. And so that one is on the floor for debate. And so that one is one to watch in terms of timing since it's on the floor for debate. So you have, a few bills here that you can take a look at. If you actually do a search for Louisiana Legislative Bills 2026, there is a NOLA.com article that was written March 19th by Blake Patterson, and that one goes through several of those bills, including the ones that are on Helena Moreno's agenda, things which she's taken a look at. And so you definitely want to take a look at that. But what Reverend Calhoun called us about this morning, he called about 217, and that's the one that provides for the administration of courts in Orleans Parish and the number of judges. So that is the one that people are looking at as a state takeover. And so that is definitely one to watch. That's the one that the bus is leaving for tomorrow morning.
The numbers, and this was according to something that column written by some guy named Will Sutton. He said that, the number of civil court judges would go from 14 to 10, and the number of criminal court judges from 12 to 9. Mm. So that would give you, these 19 would handle civil and criminal cases. Yeah, that's a McMakin thing. Yeah, he wants to reduce the number of juvenile judges from 4 to 2.
And that's a concern that Reverend Calhoun brought up earlier about there being a backlog, and saying, listen, this could create even more of a backlog,
right?
Which is something that we obviously don't want. We don't want any more of a backlog than we have right now, and so you can take action on those bills by going to Baton Rouge. You can find out more about the bills, but basically what we have. This is interesting, is that we have just 3 bills right off the bat here that are focused on the Orleans Parish courts, the judicial system here specifically, and those are definitely some bills to look out for. Now we also have several constitutional amendments. We have 5 constitutional amendments. If you go to powercoalition.org, then you can see these and you can see what the language is about here. So there's one proposed amendment 1, changes to state civil service. This is proposing. This is asking if you support an amendment to allow the legislature to remove or add officers, positions, and employees to the unclassified state civil service. The reason it matters, according to the Power Coalition, is the civil service protections are designed to prevent political interference in government jobs. Changes could affect stability in how the state agencies operate. It gives lawmakers more control over state jobs. It could weaken job protections and increase political influence, and it could shift decision-making away from independent civil service commissions. And so that's what we want to think about with this, and of course, the election for this is going to be May 16th. You have one here at St. George, which is such an interesting community.
Well, yeah, tell people what St. George is. A lot of people don't know.
So St. George is a community that basically they broke off from Baton Rouge. Yeah, they broke off from Baton Rouge and decided they want to do their own thing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so it's very interesting to see that now what they're talking about is they want to add the St. George Community School System to Louisiana Constitution, allowing it to operate like a parish school system. And it would allow the proposed St. George school system to operate like its own parish system, even though it is still in East Baton Rouge Parish.
Yeah.
And so the Power Coalition is saying that this matters because the amendment has significant implications for how education resources are distributed in East Baton Rouge Parish.
Mm-hmm.
A separate system may allow St. George to retain more local resources. It could lead to uneven funding between school systems. And remaining East Baton Rouge Parish schools may face reduced funding capacity, and differences in tax revenue could widen existing disparities.
So to oversimplify it for some people, you know what people have been saying about New Orleans East should break away from New Orleans?
Yep.
St. George's did it.
Yeah.
In Baton Rouge.
They annexed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, they would have, what Eddie is saying here is that they would have their own school system. Right?
Yeah. But this also means...
But, I mean,
is there
where would the money come from? I mean, how does that work? I mean...
That's, yeah.
And why is the state... Well, I know why. But, why is this in the legislature? I mean, what will this mean? I mean, I don't know.
This begs the question, is St. George going to come up with their own tax system? Or do they already? They already have it.
They probably already have it.
I don't know. Have their own tax system? Do they have their own police department?
As opposed to being in that instance of it being still a part of East Baton Rouge Parish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, because you have that. Are they're officially incorporated? Right? Are they officially incorporated?
I don't know.
Or are they unincorporated parts? So that's the other question I have. I don't know too much about
I got to think they're not unincorporated. I would think. I don't know.
Then it goes into other things like how are they managing their water system, the electric grid. Mm-hmm. I mean, infrastructure is a big deal. What's going to happen when St. George Street gets messed up? Who's going to fix it?
Yeah.
Are they going to fix their own street?
Are you going to look to East Baton Rouge Parish?
Are you going to look to East Baton Rouge? Yeah. I mean, who's going to fix your street? So they were so eager to do this, it seems. Now they're going to have to operate as if they don't want to be a part of anybody else, which means that they're going to have to really build some infrastructure.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really interesting. I would be interested in anybody who knows that situation. I would be really interested in what's happening. Proposed Amendment 3, teacher retirement debt funding and teacher pay raises. So this amendment raises educator pay by restructuring how certain education savings funds are used. It eliminates several education trust funds and uses those dollars to pay down retirement debt, freeing up savings to fund raises. Right now, Louisiana has several education trust funds. And with those trust funds, you do have the Education Excellence Fund, Louisiana Education Quality Trust Fund, Louisiana Quality Education Support Fund, and the amendment would eliminate and remove those funds and use that money to help pay down teacher retirement debt. The money saved from the lower debt payments would be used to help fund the pay raises. And what Power Coalition is saying is that this matters because the amendment presents both benefits and trade-offs. Higher pay may help recruit and retain educators, especially in under-resourced schools, could lead to uneven funding between school systems. However, it eliminates dedicated funding streams used for long-term education investments, may reduce resources for schools serving students with greatest needs. Funding approach may be less stable over time because the amendment relies on savings from retirement debt reduction. The amendment is about raising teacher pay now versus preserving long-term education funding for the future. So I would be interested in what educators think about this. That one seems pretty interesting, and it seems like that one there's some reading between the lines on that, a whole lot.
Yeah. Yeah,
A whole
I was going
lot.
to say there's a whole lot in between.
Yeah, there's a whole lot.
By the way, St. George is incorporated.
It is incorporated.
The newest incorporated city in Louisiana.
Yes.
Approved through a ballot initiative October 12th, 2019.
Yeah, I want to know.
The city originated from previously unincorporated areas located southeast of Baton Rouge. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Hope y'all are funding that operation that you got going there. Proposed Amendment 4, property tax exemption for business inventory. The amendment allows local parishes, if they decide to reduce or eliminate property taxes on business inventory. Why it matters, according to Power Coalition, the amendment has major implications for local funding equity, especially for public schools and essential services. That's interesting. Property taxes on business inventory are a key source of revenue for public education, law enforcement, and local governments. Okay. Allowing parishes to eliminate this tax could reduce long-term stable funding, particularly after the one-time state payment is exhausted. Wealthier parishes may absorb losses more easily than others, while lower income or rural parishes may face greater financial strain. Ooh, so think about the big data center up in Richland Parish.
Yeah.
This could lead to uneven resources across parishes, widening gaps in school funding, public safety, and infrastructure. Because a decision is local, outcomes may vary widely across the state, potentially creating a patchwork system where some communities have more resources than others. Interesting. And then the last one, proposed amendment number 5, judicial retirement age. This one is a big one. Raises mandatory retirement age for judges from 70 to 75. This amendment is about retaining experienced judges, but may limit opportunities to expand diversity and fairness in Louisiana's courts. Actually, I saw Kern Reese one day, and he was giving me an earful about this one. Why it matters. This amendment has important implications for judicial access, representation, and equity in Louisiana's court system. However, slower turnover in judicial seats may reduce opportunities for new judges, particularly candidates from historically underrepresented communities, to enter the judiciary. At one time, when there are ongoing concerns about barriers to equitable representation, fewer judicial openings could further limit progress toward a bench that reflects the diversity of Louisiana's population. Additionally, this amendment exists within a broader context in Louisiana, where there have been continued challenges related to the drawing of judicial district lines. These concerns have raised questions about whether district maps fairly represent communities of color. When combined with limited turnover and concerns about district boundaries, this amendment could contribute to long-term structural barriers that reduce the likelihood of increasing the number of minority judges. So a lot happening with these amendments, a lot happening with the bills that have been filed. We'll get back in a little bit. But if you have any thoughts, of course, those thoughts are welcome. 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. I'm Eddie Francis in for Will Sutton on the Good Morning Show. Ro Brown is hanging out with us on WBLK. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
This week will be breezy and warm with daily rain chances. Today's highs 79 to 81 degrees. Scattered showers likely by late morning into the afternoon, ending by evening. This happens each day. And then lows for tonight 64 to 68. For tomorrow, highs 81 to 82. We'll see increasing rain chances by Easter. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
Late nights are made for chillin', and you can do just that every Sunday night at 10 p.m. as DJ Wick brings you The Love Zone. It's the perfect way to top off your weekend with your favorite old and new school ballads. So sit back, relax, and let DJ Wick take you to the Love Zone on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
The National World War II Museum Located in the Warehouse District of New Orleans, the National World War II Museum tells the story of America's experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. Visit them online at www.nationalww2museum.org for time tickets and safety information.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month from the Community Scientist and Rise St. James. This month's focus is polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PAHs, formed when fuels like oil, gas, wood, or trash are burned. These chemicals can enter the air we breathe and settle into our soil and water. Many PAHs are known carcinogens, adding to the health burdens faced by communities living near industry. Learn how to protect your health at risestjames.org.
Greetings and salutations. I am Edward B. Coulon Smith, chairman of the board of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to invite you to tune in every Wednesday at 12 noon on WBOK to listen in on Black to Business and be a part of the movement that's going on. Thank you.
Across Louisiana, electric and gas bills are rising. But why? The Alliance for Affordable Energy, your energy watchdog, can help. Bring your electric and gas bills and your questions to our community bill workshop. Find out, what are these charges? Why do they keep going up? Who set the rates? Bring your bills and join us Tuesday, April 7th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the East Bank Library on West Napoleon in Metairie. Learn more on the Alliance for Affordable Energy Facebook page.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
And welcome back to the Good Morning Show. Eddie Francis in for Will Sutton, Ro Brown hanging out. And again, if you have any thoughts about constitutional amendments or the House and Senate bills in the state, you can give us a call, 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. Ro, you said something very interesting off air about the D word.
The D word.
Yeah, the D word.
I just think it's so interesting how vulgar a word diversity has become.
Well,
it's vulgar, you know.
You know what? It is working exactly the way they want it to work.
You know, diversity is a vulgar word.
Yeah, it is. And and I was telling Ro that you know, on my radio show, on the Way Forward, I had this media literacy series that I did.
Uh-huh.
And one of the headlines that I saw that I commented on was a headline by Axios. And this was actually around Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And the headline read, Trump administration cracks down on DEI ahead of Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And my commentary on that was, a crackdown suggests that something illegal is happening, something immoral, something unethical. DEI is a crackdown.
Yeah, that was the crackdown.
That's the crackdown. Diversity is the crackdown.
Yeah.
And so, you know, my thing is, if Axios wanted to write a proper headline, it should have been Trump administration reacts to DEI ahead of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. But you're right. I mean, so the language has been so deliberate, though, with them.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
as far as continuing to label DEI and diversity as illegal and unethical. And Trump says this all the time. He has said this for years and years and years, that if you repeat a lie enough, it becomes a truth.
Yeah.
The thing is, when people see this stuff, Ro, and they go, oh, how could this be? How could he get away with saying that? The thing is, he's not saying it to you or me. He's saying it to his base.
Yeah, exactly. He really doesn't care about you.
Yeah, he's talking to the cult.
Yeah.
That's who he's talking to. He's talking to the people who are going to fall in line and say, you know what, he's right.
Yeah, exactly.
It is illegal. I lost my job because of diversity.
Which I didn't.
Right? Right.
Yeah. You know, it means you don't want to be diverse.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be equitable.
Right.
You don't want certain people included.
You don't want to be.
And it's always the first thing they do when they get in office.
Yeah.
It's always one of the very first things they did. When Mike Foster was elected, it's the first thing he did. Okay.
Which is very interesting.
You know,
because he got his JD from Southern. That's the funniest thing.
Yeah. So
I wonder if anybody saw
did
that.
Landry also, right? I think he did.
Oh, that would be.
I think he did.
That would be rich.
But anyway, you know.
I always forget he has
It's
a
always
JD.
the first thing that they do, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Trump, I mean, it's one of the first things he did this time last year, you know?
Yeah.
Executive orders against, And so it's important to him, put it that way.
But it is.
It's important to them.
It is, but it is interesting to just watch it in. Oh man, bad news, bro.
What? Where did he get it?
He didn't get it from. He didn't
Loyola.
Get it from
He went to Loyola.
Okay. Oh, they got us again.
Went to Loyola. Went to Loyola.
Oh man. Oh,
yeah, I
goodness.
thought about that after I said it. I said, I think he went to Loyola.
Oh goodness, I didn't realize this man is younger than I am. Jeff Landry.
Well, there are a lot of people younger than me. So
Ooh, he's a few months younger than I am. Oh.
that's all? A few months?
Yeah.
How old is he anyway?
He's 55.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
He's 19 years younger than me.
That's what I'm thinking. Well, I mean, that's really interesting.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Here's one thing that
You've been living a hard life, Governor.
Here's one thing about him that people don't quite remember, and I thought about it again this year with the State of the Union message when the congressman from Texas, Congressman Green,
Al Green.
Congressman Green was kicked out for holding up the sign, and Steve Scalise grabbed the sign,
snatched it, yep.
all that. But anyway, and he was kicked out for holding up the sign.
Oh, I'll be voting in that general election.
Yeah, me too. And when Barack Obama, one of his State of the Union messages, there were people holding up signs.
Oh, and there was
and Jeff Landry was one of those people. He was in Congress then. He was one of those people holding up signs.
Yeah.
And for some reason, nobody seems to remember that.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, he was in Congress and he was one of the.
Well, it's interesting if nobody remembers that.
Yeah, I mean, unless I'm totally wrong. But I thought, because I knew who he was, okay? That's the only reason why I knew, because he was the guy from Louisiana, Jeff Landry,
So I had a conversation not too long with someone about this, and it was someone who was trying to understand the politics of the state, someone who's not from here. And I said, I remember, and I want to make this clear about this. First of all, of course, these are my opinions, Rose's opinions.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily talk about politics so much as I talk about leadership behavior.
Right. I agree with you.
Policy is not. I don't worry about policy. I'm not, and I'm not anti-Republican. I'm not anti, libertarian. Anything. I'm not anti.
Yeah.
But the thing that's so interesting was, I remember after Landry got elected, I remember his whole campaign was on ending the woke, whatever, blah blah blah. Being against the wokeness, blah blah blah.
Right.
And friends of mine said, well, Jeff's not such a bad guy. And I said, you mean the dude who was just on TV saying he's anti-woke and we need to end the woke, whatever? Yeah. I said, that he's not a bad guy?
Yeah.
Well, that was just for the campaign. I was like, dude, he said it publicly. He said it as part of his campaign. So who is he really? And I asked this person this, who is he really? Mm-hmm. And the person who I said that said, you have got to be the umpteenth person who has told that story, that they saw one thing, but they heard another thing kind of from the street level that he, quote, in quotation marks, street level, that he's not a bad guy. So that is really, that is something I find very interesting about him. But we do have callers right now. Let's get to Don this morning. Good morning, Don. How you doing?
Wonderful. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Minister Rowe.
Good morning. Good morning, Bishop Don.
Yes, sir. Bishop Don Juan.
Oh, no, not Don Juan.
How you doing, sir?
It's a glorious Monday on this Holy Week. Look, see, it's being bamboozled and hoodwinked when you allow people to define who you are and what you value.
Oh.
Diversity, for instance, this country, this global economy we talk about, you have all of the stock exchanges and the bonds. What is that called? You diversify your portfolio, right? When it comes to finance, you don't have all bonds.
Oh yeah.
You don't have all stocks. You don't have one stock. You have a mixture. this diversified portfolio.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing then, yeah.
Right. So, but the thing I'm saying is that when a country, for instance, Venezuela has oil, okay, and by the way, Venezuela, well, you know they won the Baseball World Classic. But what I'm saying is, it seems to me diversity and wokeness comes along when, for instance, you need lithium for your iPhones, and the lithium is on the continent of Africa. You don't want the African nations to control their own resources. You know, you don't want people to take control of their own labor. And it says that you should know your worth, you know your value. Mm-hmm. But if somebody said, well, we don't believe in diversity, that's a dirty word, equity or inclusion. We don't we don't want you to be woke in your own humanity. That's a sign of when they say ignorance is bliss, they want you to be ignorant to the fact that you have value, you have natural resources, natural talents. They want to control the oil in the world and all this resource, the function of its resource, where it comes from. They want to control all the gold. They want to control all the diamonds. They want to control all they want to control the intellectual property. They want to control, just like this goes to the music industry. You know, you write a song, and they said that the reason Frankie Beverly and Mays never won a Grammy because he had his own publishing rights. He was woke. But as long as the record company could, same thing with Prince and Michael Jackson, when Ray Charles, Master P, these people control their publishing rights, you woke. But you all right with them as long as they can get your publishing rights. It goes towards every aspect of human ingenuity and humanity when they say we are against diversity, equity, and inclusion. It depends on what you bring to the table, and you have to leverage and control your talents and your resources, i.e. countries, communities, just like in New Orleans. As long as they can control the culture, as long as they can control certain aspects and the voters don't vote and participate in their own ownership and participation in their own humanity, then they exploit you and say diversity is bad.
Yeah.
But who's the most diversified, equity, and included person in the world but white folk? Nothing against white folk, but they have white women get more affirmative action contracts than anybody else.
Well, I have an elementary school way of thinking, and to me, woke simply means if you're woke. If you're not woke, then you must be asleep. Okay.
Yeah. Or unconscious.
Yeah. If you're not, if you don't want somebody to be woke, that means you want them to be, asleep or unconscious.
Right.
And
yes, sir.
And that's what that means. That's what the word, when they use woke, that's what that means to me.
Yes.
That's how I look at it. I mean, it's like I said, I got a simple mind. That's how
right.
I look at
it. You're not in a comatose state.
Yeah. No, not at all. And Don, I mean, to your point though, Ro and I were having this conversation a little earlier about how a certain type of leader is going to create a culture. And I had this conversation one day. Actually, my wife and I were having this conversation one day about how right now everybody's just feeling the blues and just really bluesy right now because, everything is so heavy right now. Mm-hmm. And I said, but isn't that the play? Isn't the play to take us out of the game? And the way to take us out of the game is to have us walking around upset, depressed, frustrated, out of sorts constantly so that we don't take action.
Yeah.
Well, look at what integration did. Look at what integration. It wasn't the goal wasn't integration. The goal was desegregation. Okay, It wasn't integration. Okay, we're gonna integrate the school. We're gonna take all your best teachers, all your best students, your best, and we're gonna give y'all. We're gonna give teachers who not even qualified to be teachers. We're gonna give y'all people who get off the milk truck and make them your teacher. We're gonna get these unqualified people and put them in position of power, just like they did with Headset. He's unqualified, they say, but That's what integration has done. Integrate into, like Dr. King said, I'm for reintegrating into a burning house.
Yeah.
Okay? So we have to, same thing with baseball. When the Negro League was around, they had no problem. But once they having black players in the 70s, 1 out of every 4 Major League Baseball player was black, a black American. Now, it's much lower. And so, but because they call the Negro Leagues, and they call the white leagues Major League. It wasn't Major League. It was a white Major League and a black Major League in my book. But once they integrated and didn't allow the black managers and black owners to get a part of the ownership of these so-called Major League teams, they only wanted the players. They didn't want the managers. They didn't want the groundskeepers. They didn't want the owners. They just wanted the players. And that's what's going on today.
Yeah.
They don't want the crust of the bread. They just want the soft part of the bread.
Yeah, and Don, thanks a lot. Thanks for giving us a call. And actually, we got to move on to another caller, but appreciate you, brother. You have a good one. All right, let's go on to James right now. Good morning, James.
Good morning, gentlemen. Dang, boy, you be striking matches in the morning, man. It's too early for all that fire. Let me
What,
tell you,
James?
he strike matches, bro. Just like you said, our simple brain say woke just mean the opposite of sleep. You know what I mean? And that's a fact. But that's all Don said. Don just put it a little bit more eloquently than you and I could ever hope to do it. But a big old fact to your point with how simplistic things are. Sometimes, just like to go, I'm gonna take it full circle. They'll take our stuff and tell us what it means to us. We got to stop engaging them in that type of rhetoric. We got to, because we already know what it is. That's our code. That's our text. That's our language and lingo to communicate with one another. I don't have to explain chat to you because you don't control that space. You don't have that kind of power. You don't even know how to invent that kind of lingo, linguistic technology to talk amongst each other as brethren and to wax eloquent like my big brother Don just did. You know what I mean? So we got to stop arguing with that. As far as the Jeff Landry thing, well, I heard the same thing, bro. I heard the same thing you heard. People always saying, he ain't so bad. He ain't so bad. Bullshit. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, y'all.
No.
Sorry, y'all. Sorry about that. I hear you. I'm gonna say because if you're gonna say what you're gonna say, and then act how you're gonna act, and then come back to the block and then be something totally different. Well, you a Sambo.
Yeah.
You a Sambo. And Sambo was detrimental to black folk. So I see you, and I can't rock with you.
Yeah, I hear you, James. Thank you, man.
All right, James. All right, bro.
All right. Yeah, James. James lit a match too. It sounds like
talking about striking matches.
Yeah, speaking of striking matches. So yeah, that is really
woke.
But I mean, but you know,
woke.
James brought up something I think we just tend to forget constantly. You know, the strategy here has been, and the strategy here has been the same for years and years and years, and that is to flip language.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm tired of hearing people talk about being woke. I'm tired of it. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make woke a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn it into a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's a solution.
Yeah.
And the thing is so funny is every time there is someone who says, when I voted for Trump, I thought I was going to get this, but I'm getting that. I always want to say, I was like, I wish I was standing there to say, well, if you were woke, you would have caught it.
You would have caught on
from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Because he told you what he was going to do. He actually told you what he was going to do.
Yeah.
You just didn't think it was going to happen to you.
I have a friend who's a very good writer. Local writer, sports writer. But I understand he's written a book about some other things. Anyway, he's very active on Facebook and social media about political stuff. Mm-hmm. And he's somebody that that people would consider liberal. which means that a lot of the stuff that he posts is anti-Trump. Okay. And when he was doing this a year ago, he would get lots of comments and replies from the other side, from the MAGA, he got a lot of stuff, just lots of comments from people, some people, people he knew, and, put their names on it, he was crazy, and, he was woke, and he was so on and so forth. And I mean, he would get just lots and lots of stuff, which never bothered him, he always, replied real calmly and everything. A year later, he's doing the same thing, but he gets no replies anymore.
No replies. Suspiciously
he gets
quiet.
very few replies anymore.
Suspiciously quiet.
Those things have disappeared. I mean, I look at it just to, when I look at it, I just look at that to see, and it's not there anymore. I mean, it would be a long list.
Yeah.
This time a year ago.
And it is now greatly reduced.
Now it's like crickets.
Well, let's take a break, and we're going to be back in just a couple of minutes to close this thing out. I'm Eddie Francis in for Will Sutton on the Good Morning Show. WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. Conflict in the Middle East, mixed feelings about artificial intelligence, and more are causing turbulence in markets. But when things are volatile, John Rogers sees opportunity. Rogers is founder, chairman, and co-CEO of Ariel Investments, one of the largest and longest-running black-owned investment firms in the country. Speaking recently at Bloomberg Invest, Rogers says that above all, his firm focuses on being patient and having a long-term view.
You have to wait until you can buy a great business at a bargain price. And then you have to be patient, as sometimes often a company maybe is going through a temporary crisis. You have to be able to look out again over the horizon and see what that company will look like when the sun comes out again and the storms drift away.
Ariel focuses on businesses that it feels will perform well in the long haul, even if it hits some bumps in the road along the way. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Pros, just because something on the job runs out doesn't mean you have to. Order it on the Lowe's app. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get free same-day delivery on eligible orders over $25. Get the fasteners, hardware, or tools you need to keep the job moving. Order by 2 p.m. and get eligible in-stock items delivered right to your job site by 8 p.m. Members get more at Lowe's. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Subject to availability. Restrictions and terms at lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Missed a show? Want to hear that guest everyone's talking about? WBOK is now streaming on all your favorite podcast apps. Just search WBOK Media, hit download, share with a friend, and don't forget to rate your favorite shows 5 stars. Because when our voices are heard, our impact grows.
New Orleans is built to host, and at the New Orleans Ernest N. Morial Convention Center, it is where big ideas, major events, and careers come together under one roof. As the 6th largest convention center in the country with a team recognized as a national top workplace, we are proud to power the events that keep our city moving forward. Our staff of more than 450 brings nearly 3,900 years of combined experience, an average of almost 9 years each. If you're looking for a robust benefits package, career stability, and opportunity, visit mccno.com to explore open positions today.
LifeCare provides valuable whole life insurance to cover final expenses such as medical bills, burial costs, and unpaid debt. A final expense insurance policy is fast, easy, affordable life insurance that's available to anyone between the ages of 50 and 80. No medical exams, no lengthy questionnaires, and no waiting period. The application process is quick and easy. You can even apply without having to undergo a medical examination. Just answer a few questions and we'll do the rest. With the average funeral cost skyrocketing to $11,000 and Social Security only paying $255, you need simple, affordable peace of mind for you and your whole family. Don't leave behind unpaid expenses that, if left unattended, will burden your family tremendously. Benefits include a guaranteed premium that will never increase, a guaranteed cash value, and a guaranteed death benefit that can never decrease. To find out how you can get final expense insurance with a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, call LifeCare at 800-571-9955. That's 800-571-9955. 800-571-9955.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
And welcome back to the Good Morning Show. Eddie Francis in for Will Sutton. Many thanks to everybody who's been hanging out this morning. Joshua, Alicia on Facebook, Melanie Renee, thank you so much for hanging out. Pat Blasio, thank you for hanging out. Lots of comments. As a matter of fact, you got to go check out the Facebook comments to see what's happening there. Lots of conversation this morning. Paul Jensen, thank you so much for hanging out as always. The usual crew is here. That would mean, Ro, that they are a community.
A community.
This is the WBOK community. And another member of the WBOK community is on the line right now. Brother Al Mims, how you doing?
Hey, my brother from another mother. And listen, I want to say
we got about a minute,
22
Brother
years
Mims.
old, and I was a sheriff in the parole board. This time of the year is the most holiest time. Let's be kind to one another, and let's stop the fighting and thing. This is God's time, and I want y'all to know I love you, bro. And listen, I tell them all the time, Jesus loved us. He loved even the ones that hated him and put him on the cross. So I just want you to know, bro, your show is great, and I love you, and you can't do anything about it. You have a great day.
Love you back, Brother Mims.
All
Thank
right.
you, man. Appreciate
All right,
you.
Al.
Well, I like that. I like ending the show on a note of love.
On a high note.
Yeah, on a very high note. So, you know what? I'll be back here tomorrow. I don't have anything better to do. So I'll come back.
Okay.
Jared, you coming back tomorrow? Oh, he said maybe. All right, yeah. All right. I don't look. Yeah, he doesn't look convinced.
Maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll see. All right, and we'll see who's gonna be sitting in the other chair. I'm not gonna put you on the spot. I have no idea what's gonna happen tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So
I don't either.
Yeah. So it's you know what? It's our own version.
I didn't always know what was going to happen today.
It's our own version. It's Radio 52 pickup. Just throw them up and pick them up. And that's what we're going to do tomorrow. But listen, thank you so much for hanging out with us, especially on Facebook, on YouTube, Instagram, Live, WBOK1230.com, the Play Old app. And, of course, for all of you who decided to do it the old-fashioned way and put your radio on 12:30 a.m., appreciate you, too. So I'll be back tomorrow, and it'll be more than a pleasure to be here. If the good Lord stays the same. Ro, thank you so much, man. I appreciate
thank you, Eddie. Thank you. I enjoyed it.
Coming up next is the front porch. That's what the sign back here says. Jared, thank you so much. All right. You have a good day. Have a safe day. And more than anything else, have a blessed day. I'm Eddie Francis in for Will Sutton on the Good Morning Show. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.